Before we begin learning about Perl, let's talk a little bit about prerequisites. Before you start this course, you should have a basic understanding of programming. This course is about Perl, and Perl is a programming language, so you'll need to know the basics of programming before you get started. This is not a programming primer. It's not about how to write programs. It's about how to use the language Perl for writing programs. You don't need to be an expert, but you should have a little bit of experience, at least, writing working code in a modern programming language. And a modern programming language would be something like C, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, any of those, anything that's a procedural language, a block-oriented language, or an object-oriented language will be fine for the prerequisite experience. You will need a computer system with Perl 5 installed. You're not going to find anything with Perl 4 or older versions of Perl as a rule. Perl 5 is already about 15 years old as of the time of this recording. So any system that has Perl on it has probably got Perl 5 on it. Most computer systems today, with the exception of Windows systems, come with Perl already installed. Macs already have Perl installed. Virtually all Unix systems already have Perl installed. And if you have a Windows system, it's easy to install Perl, and we'll go over how to do that in an upcoming lesson. It's recommended that you have the latest version of Perl, which is Perl 5.10 as of the time of this recording. It's not necessary. Perl 5.6 or later will work just fine for most of what we cover in the course. We will have a chapter on new features in Perl 5.10, but they're not required for the rest of the course. Finally, you will need a text editor. Any text editor will do. A good programming text editor is strongly recommended. You do not want to use a word processor, and you do not want to use the little text editor that comes with your operating system. You probably want to get a good text editor. In this course, we'll be using an integrated development environment called Eclipse. Eclipse is not required to do the course, although if you want to install Eclipse, there will be a lesson on how to install and configure Eclipse for use with Perl. Any text editor, whatever you normally use for your programming work, is going to work just great for working with Perl.